Welcome back, boxing fans. I just hit myself in the eye with my sleeve. Nice way to start the video. Welcome back. So, I don't know if you guys have been watching Probox TV's Wednesday night fights, but you definitely should give it a check. They're putting out quality fights, very good matchups, competitive fights where it's not guys being fed easy opponents to look good against. They're literally putting them in with quality guys, quality operators. This week, February 28th, of course, it's Thursday my time, we had Justin Paldo, who's 17 and 1 with 8 KOs, fighting against Miguel Mueduena, 30 and 2 with 28 KOs from Mexico. So Mexico and America head-to-head clash. We also had one of the most exciting up-and-coming young light heavyweights from Puerto Rico, and not Berlanga, Naji Lopez. And Naji Lopez has been fighting a lot, specifically here on Probox. He is currently 9-0 with 8 KOs. He was stepping up to face a tough Argentinian fighter in Marcus Escudero, who is 14 and 2 with 12 KOs. And of course, if you like amateur fighters and Olympians, then this was a great card for you as well. Mongolian fighter Senbatar Erden Bat. Say that 10 times after you're drunk. 8-0 with 4 KOs. Was fighting a super lightweight fight against Canadian Mohamed Sumaro, who is 14 and 2 with 6 KOs. So on the outset, when you look at this, these were some quality fights, right? Not big name guys. I mean, if you watch amateur boxing, you knew the Mongolian guy. I've seen him fight quite a few times. As far as Naji Lopez, he's really been getting a bit of a buzz, building and building and building. Look good, stopping guys, really being impressive. Justin Paldo and Miguel Modeno, both those guys at lightweight that, they've been very busy. We know who they are, but they're, a cut below the guys that we usually pay attention to, right? So they're not the biggest name fighters, but as far as a matchup and as far as guys at that level matching up, this is exactly what boxing should do, right? The problem with many of these sanctioning bodies is that the guys they have in their top 15, maybe not all big name guys, but dudes that should be in fights like this, building themselves up to become mandatory opponents for the champion. So by the time they get there, we know who they are. We've seen them. We've watched them beat guys at their level and consistently move up, earning the opportunity for a world title fight. So now once he gets the fight, even if we think he stands no chance against the champ, at least we understand that he's valid, he's earned it, and he deserves his opportunity, right? Which is pretty historic with boxing. A lot of guys have had world title fights. We didn't always think they were going to win, but at least they earned the shot, so they deserve their opportunity. And sometimes the unthinkable happens, and these guys actually upset the apple cart, are a banana peel, and pull the once-in-a-lifetime type of upset that people don't expect to happen, right? Example, Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. So let me just look at my predictions, because I did predictions already, and I'm just curious if any of these fights were on my prediction list. Because I don't know if the Wednesday night fights are usually on my prediction list, but let me check. Yeah, yeah, of course they're not. Yeah. I don't know why the prediction league. I guess because people would feel too pressured to put in their predictions too quick. Even though a card like this would have been a good one to predict. I know on the outside looking in, I did predict that the Mexican fighter was going to win. I just felt that his experience and power would be too much and he would beat Justin Paldo. Naji Lopez, obviously, you're going to ride with him because he's looked so great. And as far as the Mongolian fighter, I know him. I don't know the Canadian fighter. So I would favor him. Obviously, he's got a great amateur pedigree, so he's been in with really high-level opponents. So let's check out how these fights unfolded. Obviously, you can watch this free on ESPN, or you can go to Probox TV, the app, and you can watch it there as well. So there's multitudes of ways you can watch these fights. They're free, so you don't need to worry about paying money. And obviously, today I watched it on my smart TV. It's right there behind you. So this card really gives you a great indication of how competitive these fights were, right? And maybe for more casual fans who are unfamiliar with these people, this would be the kind of card maybe they just wouldn't be interested in because they don't know who people are. But all I remember is back when I was a kid and there wasn't so much opportunity to watch boxing. When you had a Tuesday night or a Friday night boxing event on ESPN or whatever the case may have been, we watched them, even if we didn't know who the people were, because we were so hungry to watch boxing that we'd watch anything that was available. This is free. It's available on a Wednesday. I don't know what you do on a Wednesday, but I ain't doing anything too fucking exciting. So to have something like this to watch is a godsend. It's beautiful, excellent. Keep it up. I'm happy. Probox, thumbs up. And these fights are super competitive. And that's what I say. A lot of times the fights that are hyped up and people put a lot of support into it, let's say a fight with Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman, right? You know these guys, and specifically Keith Thurman, so people are going to build it up. It's going to be pay-per-view. That fight could end in 3 rounds with Tim Tszyu knocking Keith Thurman out. Everybody going, yeah, I knew Keith Thurman was fucking washed and was just looking for a payday. And bam, there you are. You spent $80 to watch this big hyped event, and it ended up shitting in the bed, right? Whereas these kind of cards, you don't have high expectations. So it doesn't have to be fight of the years to be impressive. And if they disappoint, you won't be that surprised anyway, because you don't really know who these guys are. But in this case, that's not how it unfolded. You had Justin Paulino get beat by split decision by Miguel Medueno. Split decision. Very competitive fights. Let's look at what the scorecards were. Do we have it? About? So, as far as the cards go, do we have? Come on. You don't have that information. I don't know. Come on, BoxRec. You ain't giving me the information I'm looking for. But nonetheless, majority decision, competitive fight between two, top 30 lightweight fighters. And potentially the winner of this may be a guy that we see in the future on one of the bigger platforms. And then, of course, Naji Muhammad, a guy who has been destroying competition, has looked as if he's really going to make a big push this year. Won by majority decision as well. Oh, sorry, Paulino fight was a split decision. My eyes are bad. Lopez won by majority decision. So this guy with great power who's been destroying everybody in this fight stepped up to face a tough Argentinian fighter with good power, and the fight went the distance, tooth and nail, right? And this is good tests for him. He's a young guy, unlike the first fight. Those guys are experienced fighters, obviously looking for a good payday and hoping to build themselves up into bigger fights moving forward. For him, this is a guy that's on a cusp of really having a lot of name recognition and getting big opportunities put towards him. Having this kind of fight probably isn't really what his team was looking for, right? Such a competitive fight that actually is going to kill some of the buzz that's been surrounding him. But at the same time, for a guy who's only had 9 professional fights, this is exactly what he needs. He needs competitive bouts now. So when he moves up in when he moves up in class and takes on higher level opponents, guys with more experience, potential ex-world champions, or guys that are on the cusp of getting world title fights, he's prepared. He's not a guy like, say, Berlanga, who had 16 first-round knockouts, right, against cupcakes, and then the first time you threw him in with a quality fighter, he just could not adapt, was silver-spooned, and not prepared to really dig deep to fight legitimate opponents, right? So for Naji Lopez, I think this is a good learning opportunity for him. And of course, my Mongolian fighter, He won probably the easiest fight out of all of them, winning by unanimous decision. Moving forward in his career, obviously he did not get a knockout, but he's never been the biggest KO puncher. So I don't expect him to be the kind of guy in the pros that's like walking through dudes and pulling a Golovkin. That's not him. Obviously, he's going to try to be more of a boxer and use a lot more skill set to win fights. And, obviously for him, it's the same sort of scenario. They're trying to build him up, and then eventually see what opportunities they have at 140 pounds, potentially maybe 135, which are two hot divisions right now. So you can't say he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's in the right place at the right time. So I just wanted to give this fight card a little bit of attention. Obviously, Probox is doing this shit every week. You should tune in. You should check it out because it doesn't disappoint. It's free. It's on Probox's app or on on YouTube. So it's right there. I'm watching it on YouTube. And why not? Check it out. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. If you do watch it, leave in the comment section below. What did you think about today's fights? And if you don't, check it out. And if you don't, tell me why you aren't. Because they have fights from all weight classes. And so it's not a matter of small fighters. But nonetheless, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Enjoy your week. The weekend is almost here for me. Tomorrow is Friday. And then the weekend begins. We have some big boxing this weekend as well, as I talked about earlier on this week. I don't know. Ever since wearing all those masks from COVID, all I get is like a rash behind my ear, even though I never wear masks anymore. Never. But yes, this weekend we have some big fights. Where is it? It's not even listed on BoxRec as the first fights. We also obviously have Amanda Serrano. She's going to be defending her world titles against a tough fighter in Mankey. Not the best name, Mankey. And then, now it's fucking escaping me. What's the ESPN fight? Oh, okay, I know. The featherweight fight. The featherweight double feature, because ESPN's been killing the double features. Obviously, the main event is Raymond Ford trying to become a world champion. 14-0 with 7 KOs. He's going to be fighting Kolmatov. Otabek Kolmatov, currently 12-0 with 11 KOs. Great style matchup between these two fighters. The aggressive boxer puncher versus the long, slick U.S. Olympian. So that fight in itself should be very entertaining. And then you have another world title fight, Luis Lopez, right, defending his title, 29-2. He's going to be fighting tough Japanese fighter, Ria Abe, 25-3-1. So that's a great card as well. There's going to be a lot of good young fighters on the undercard, as I talked about yesterday or the day before. You also have Amanda Serrano and the Jake Paul card, which is going to be on DAZN. So DAZN and ESPN both representing this weekend. Check it out. I'm going to go live on Sunday post-fight. So Sunday my time, Saturday night, Sunday morning your time. But if you're around, jump in, check it out. I don't know if I'm going to go live for the fight on ESPN because obviously living in Taiwan, I can't watch it unless it's off of a stream. But the DAZN card is going to be here, but I'm not that intrigued to watch Amanda Serrano or Jake Paul fight. So I probably won't watch that fight card live. But let me know if you're interested in that card. Maybe I will if enough people want to jump in and join. If not, then I'll just do a post-fight breakdown for both of them. But thanks for watching. Peace out. Enjoy.